Hey, welcome back to Dirty Bird Sports. Today we're talking about the Pac-12 conference realignment. I know it's a subject that nobody likes. Just kidding. It's like the only thing going on right now. Yeah, so pretty much last Wednesday or whatever, Thursday sometime, Oregon, Washington, Arizona, Arizona State, Utah all left the Pac-12. Left it with solid 4 teams after Colorado, USC, and UCLA left. I just wanted to give my thoughts. I think this is a really interesting moment in college football history right now. I mean, obviously everybody's saying it's going to be the next AFC, NFC type thing, which, maybe it will be. Probably it's looking like that. The Fox conference and the ESPN conference, who knows? Maybe it will be like that, but I'm not sure. So, but yeah, obviously this is probably part of the 3-step process of NIL stuff, getting that done, realignment, and then probably privatization stuff, probably the next step, I'm guessing, not sure. But yeah, anyway, that's all boring. I just want to, so the Pac-12 supposedly had a deal with the Apple TV streaming service, and it would give each school around $23 million per year, plus streaming incentives, and like each team would have a certain subscriber. If you had more subscribers than others, you would have more money. So obviously that's the lowest deal out of every Power 5 conference out there, so nobody wants to take that. And I remember waking up that morning, I saw some Bleacher Report notifications that was like Pac-12 staying together, and I had hope. As a Utah and Oregon fan, I had hope, but nope. So yeah, then Oregon and Washington both, they buddied up and left. They're gonna get $30 million per season with the $1 million added on every season until 2029, 2030, when the Big Ten gets to renegotiate their media rights deals, which is when they get when they get more cash flow. Then they'll become full share members, which is fun. And then all the Four Corners schools, Colorado, Utah, Arizona State, they will get full media rights shares immediately, which is going to be around $32 million a season. So good for them. But yeah, and also USC and UCLA, they left last year. They have full shares, obviously. But I don't think this is a good move for college football. I don't think anybody does. I think there's a general just animosity in the public towards these moves, which is, you're losing what makes college football special in so many ways, just these regional conferences. You have Big Ten football, just like slugfest, and out battling in the winter, and it's freaking dead cold outside. And you have the West Coast, which is like got its own style, and you have the South, its own style, East Coast, own style. And now we're getting rumors that Stanford's going to the ACC, which is just like, what? It even says it in the name, the Atlantic Coast Conference, and a team from California could be joining, which makes no sense to me, but I can see it as a push to get Notre Dame to join as a football program. Stop being independent. But even with the Big Ten, I don't get it. Oregon, it's going to have that sick rivalry with Rutgers, and, Washington's going to be playing Maryland. This is good for college football, but if you're a basketball player, a baseball player, softball, gymnastics, lacrosse, or like rowing or something, any of those little tiny, not necessarily revenue generating sports, this sucks for you. It sucks. It sucks. Speaking as a Utah fan, it does give you that BYU in a protected rivalry again. Also, TCU comes back. I don't know if that many people care about the TCU rivalry that much. It's been a long time since they've played each other. It's kind of not really that big of a deal. But you have BYU, which a bunch of people are excited about, but also, from my point of view, it's like you're going from the Pac-12 and your biggest games of the year are going to be against like USC and UCLA and Oregon, Washington, all these big name brands, Stanford too. And then you're dropping down to your biggest game of the year, probably being BYU again. Or like maybe Oklahoma State, Baylor, TCU, somebody like that. Which, it's definitely a downgrade. There's no other way to put it. Pac-12 would have been a better conference altogether if everybody just stayed together, but last that did not happen. But yeah, it's just sad for me. I get it. I mean, it does suck. For Oregon and Washington, I think joining the Big Ten's good for them. Not really, but good for them not going to the Big 12, getting likely $80 million a season in a couple of years, which is amazing. Biggest media rights deal in the country. But I mean, if you're Oregon, your path to the college football playoff is already way harder. I mean, with the current way it's set up in the 12-team thing, 12-team playoff in the future, you're gonna have one automatic bid for conference champions, or for Oregon, you're gonna have to go through Ohio State and Michigan and Penn State and USC, UCLA. Not that UCLA's gonna be that good, but still, you make your path so much harder. So for Washington as well. Also for Oregon and Washington, you lose those in-state rivalries like the Civil War, Oregon State, and the Apple Cup, Washington and Washington State, which sucks. Not good for either of those fan bases. I know both schools have come out saying that they want to keep those going, but you're gonna have some years where that doesn't happen because they're an unprotected rivalry, not in conference. So yeah, it's kind of the death of that rivalry almost. Not completely, but still not. It's not gonna be as it was back in Pac-12 days. So, and it's kind of sucks because the Pac-12 this season's looking like it's gonna be really good. I mean, those top 6 teams: UCLA, USC, Oregon, Utah, Washington, Oregon State, all look like they could do some big stuff this year. I mean, pretty much every one of those has a great quarterback, so it's just kind of sad, especially with the Pac-12 having all this momentum going into this season, and this is the last season, so it just sucks. I mean, another thing, Big Ten has 18 teams in the conference now, and I would not be surprised if they kept expanding, go to 20 or something. Maybe if Notre Dame gives them the signal, or Cal and Stanford. I doubt Cal and Stanford would happen, but we're in the world of Fox Sports, and the Bay Area is a big media region. I mean, it's like the 3rd or 4th biggest in the nation, so. But still, it's like if you're Oregon, I don't know how they're going to work divisions or anything, but my guess is that they do something like the ACC. You have 3 fixed opponents, which is like your rivals. So for example, Alabama's fixed opponents are LSU, Tennessee, and Auburn. So they play those teams every year. So I'd assume that's what it'd be. And Oregon would play UCLA, USC, Washington every year, and then have the other opponents in your conference schedule just change every year. So you would probably only play Ohio State like once every 3-4 years. Kind of like how Alabama never plays Georgia or Florida, feels like, for me anyway. So, I mean, it is, so Oregon's going to be playing like the Nebraskas and the Iowas and the, all those kind of, I hate to say it, but bottom feeder teams in the Big Ten a lot more often instead. And you'll probably play one of the Big 4 every year in Michigan, Ohio State, Michigan State, and Penn State. You'll probably get one of those teams on your schedule. If you're unlucky, you might get 2, which is interesting. But I mean, another thing, I'm kind of just rambling here, but that's all this thing is. I mean, what's going to happen to the rest of the Pac-12? I mean, you got those 4 teams that's really in a weird place. I mean, report came out that a Pac-12 president asked the Big 12 to, just like take everybody but Washington and Oregon State, which is kind of weird. But that's the world we're in. Nobody wants Washington State. Nobody wants Washington and Oregon State, so I'm guessing the Mountain West is where they're bound, or maybe they get a merger, put Cal in there, but Cal does not seem like a Mountain West school. I mean, it's still a pretty big brand. I mean, we've seen that they've been linked to the Big Ten, but if that would have happened, I think that would have happened with Oregon and Washington when they came in. So I don't know what they're gonna do. Obviously, Stanford, I feel like would be fine independent. I feel like they fit that mold. them and Notre Dame can just be friends, independent for the rest of eternity, whatever they want to do. But yeah, Cal, I don't know what they do. Probably, I'm guessing the most likely outcome is the 4 Pac-12 schools just join up and go to Mountain West. That's my guess. Or Stanford goes independent, something like that. But I mean, still sucks. I mean, for everybody. I mean, just the commercialization of college football sucks. I mean, like I said, taking some of the things that make college football truly special and the rivalry and the traditions that you do, and just like kind of ruining it. And even like if you're an Oregon, USC, UCLA, Washington fan going to the Big Ten, you can't really easily go to away games anymore unless you take a 3, possibly even 4-hour flight to get there. You know, unless you're playing Washington, plus you're playing any of the teams on the West Coast. So that, I mean, sucks. It really sucks. And also it's like, I don't know if this is any of these moves. I mean, I love Oregon. I'm a diehard Oregon fan, but I don't think adding Oregon and Washington to the Big Ten even makes them close to competing with the SEC. I mean, the Big Ten's like won 1 national championship in the last since like 2007, and the SEC's won like 16 to 19. Can't remember the exact number. So it's just kind of insane. Like, SEC still remains king. I don't know. So yeah, Utah will probably just dominate the Big 12, I'm guessing. I hope. I mean, they won the Pac-12 2 years in a row, so I guess you can say it's the class of the Pac-12 going to the Big 12, but not really in a way. That's why, got the figures, but I don't know. It's going to be a rocky ride. We'll see how it goes. I just can't wait for Saturdays in the fall to show up. I mean, that's really all that is. And this season for the Pac-12 is gonna be fun. I'm excited. I just kind of sad that this is the last one, But we'll see. We'll see. Good stuff. Not good stuff. Sorry, I keep contradicting myself, but it's happened. So yeah. What are you gonna do? Oregon, Washington, everybody. I don't know. We'll see. Should be fun. I guess I'll see y'all next time. Maybe, I have no idea what I'm going to do next. Maybe I'll do something for the NFL. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, see you next time.